What's up, guys? Welcome back to True Sound Studios. I'm Weezna. So today I'm going to show you guys how to connect an external effects unit to a mixer. So you're going to want to take a look at the mixer and make sure it has something called an AUX SEND or an AUX. This is a separate output that allows you to send this signal to this external effects unit and then separately mix it into, let's say, your vocal sound, which is what I'll demonstrate today. Now, not only can you use this effects unit just for vocals like I'll demonstrate in this video, but you can use it for your guitar, your piano, or whatever it might be. So in this particular video, your mixer needs to have an aux knob on it. So you're definitely going to want to check your mixer first and make sure it has an aux. If it doesn't, don't worry. I'm going to show you guys in a separate video how to connect an effects unit to a mixer that doesn't have an aux. Okay, so now let's get into this video. Okay, so to start really quick, this is the mixer we're going to be using. This is the Yamaha MG 10-2 mixer. Most importantly, the blue knobs that you see right there labeled AUX. That is the AUX SEND that we're going to use, both the pre and post. I'll show you both. And then for the effects units, this is the Lexicon MPX 100. This is what we'll be using for the reverb sound. Okay, so here we go. This is all the connections facing forward to make it real easy. So at the very top there, it says input left and right, but right says mono. That is the input that we want to use. So I connect a TRS cable there. Now down below that says send aux 1 pre and aux 2, which is post. So I'll plug the other end in there. I'll show you guys later on the difference. So here we have outputs left and right. I'm going to take this yellow cable. We're going to plug output left into the return left input. You can see there I'm showing left return and right return. So we're going to plug left into left, and then output right is going to go into return right. Return is also another name for input. So this is what we have. We have signal inside of our mixer is going to be coming out of aux 2, going to the input of the Lexicon, doing its reverb thing, and then stereo signal coming out back into the mixer so that we can hear it and mix it into our vocal sound. So here, I'm just showing in case you don't have a return that is free, we can actually use any of these other stereo input channels. So here, in this case, I'm using channel 3, which has channel 3 and 4 as inputs, and I'm just connecting left to left and right to right. And I'll show you the advantage of this particular channel, this particular routing. So here, this is the channel I just plugged it into, but over here, that is actually the return channel. As you can see, it's just simply a volume knob. But here, we have gain, we have EQ, I could pan the reverb, I could EQ the reverb. It just gives us a little bit more options. Okay, so here is our setup. Now, I did have to add a few extra things. This is an output. This is going to the camera to be able to record all this audio. Then I have my headphones so I can obviously listen to it. And then I plugged a microphone into channel 1 here. And this is what we're going to be using as the audio example. And the audio is coming out currently out of aux 2, which is also post fader. And I'll talk about that in a second. So here's the microphone channel that everything is coming in on. You know, you can turn up the gain on the channel, and then this is the overall volume. I can just, you know, do a little EQ move here, maybe. Okay, so these blue knobs right here, these are the aux send. So since our microphone's on here, what I can do is if I start turning this knob, you're going to start seeing some signal come into the effects unit. So as I start turning this up, turning, check, check, check. You can see the green lights are lighting up, meaning I'm sending signal now from this blue knob. It's coming to here. It's coming out of this jack and going inside of the effects unit. Then it's doing the effects processing, and now it's coming back out to channel 3 into this stereo channel, which once again is down here. This is the volume. So if I turn this volume knob up, check, check, check. Hey, 1, 2. Now you guys can hear the effect. So now we just need to quickly set up our effects unit. So here is our input knob. We just want to make sure we got a good signal, but not clipping. Here with the mix knob, it says all the way dry, all the way wet. You don't want it all the way dry, not for this particular type of routing with a mixer. This one we want fully wet, so it's only reverb coming out of here. And then with the output, just make sure that there's enough volume that is loud enough coming into our mixer and we don't have to crank it too loud. So what's nice about having the outputs of the effects unit come to a channel like this with an EQ is you can actually EQ that reverb. So, you can change the sound of it, opposed to just using the return input, which still works great, but it's just going to be volume. Another thing you can do is you could also pan the reverb. You can hear now it's all the way to the right and now it's to the left. So something you can do by running it into a channel with an EQ on it. Now, what I was talking about is being post. So post fader, which means if I adjust this knob, you're going to hear that the reverb also is being adjusted at the same time. So the reverb is being turned down at the same time as the main output's being turned down. Now, if this was pre-fader, when you would turn this down, you would still hear the effects. And I think this is kind of confusing for some people because if you wanted to turn up or down the main microphone, you would also have to turn up or down the aux at the same time. You'd have to like grab both knobs and turn them down. By doing it this way, when you turn down or turn up, the same amount of volume is coming from here without the effect and then also with the effect all at the same time. Now, another thing that's cool is, let's say you're performing and you like the reverb on, but now you want to talk to the audience. You don't need reverb anymore. You can just, bam, you can turn the reverb off. And then some mixers will even have a mute button. So now you can talk to everybody without reverb on it. Song starts, turn your reverb back up. And then, of course, obviously we can adjust the amount of reverb right here on this mic, on this particular channel. And so that is the basic function. That's how to set all this up. Now, just really quickly, I'm going to show you guys the so the AUX SEND 1. So setting up just slightly different. Okay, so now we have the exact same setup, except now we're running out of AUX 1, which is pre-fader, and it says right on there, pre. And that means, once again, that the signal will come down this chain and it's actually being adjusted before this main output volume knob. So if I go ahead and add some reverb, check, check. So you can hear it's also very loud because now we're not turning down the signal with this volume knob. So now watch this though. I'm going to turn down this volume and you're going to still hear the effect. Check. Hey, so the problem with this is now I've adjusted the volume, but I have the same amount of reverb coming through here. So this is good, in certain situations, maybe for a monitor mix, pre-send on the aux is good, but for effects, I think using something like aux 2 on this particular mixer, which is post. So post fader, that's what we really would want for this, because then every time you adjust the volume, it also adjusts the amount of the effect that you have applied. Okay, so last and final setup, I moved the output back to aux 2, or the post fader, the one where if you turn down the main volume knob, it will also turn down the amount of the reverb all at the same time. So you just turn the one knob down, it'll turn both down. So now once again, we're sending aux signal to aux 2, which is coming out of this connection into here, and now it's coming back out into the inputs of the aux return. So now this is like the technical correct area to have your effects come back into the mixer. So now what we'll do is we'll come over to here, and this is our aux return. Really, this is just another input. It just doesn't have the fancy EQ and whatnot on there. But if I just turn this up, check, hey, yeah. Now we have our effects back. So of course I can adjust it here, the amount per channel, but this is the overall volume. So let's say you set up, let's say you have 4 microphones, 4 vocalists, everyone needs reverb, maybe a certain amount of reverb. You know, this is another nice reason about using this as the input is, you know, we free up these other channels. But let's say you get all 4 vocalists, everyone's got reverb on it, you know, it's just really loud. You start performing, you're like, it's too much reverb. Instead of turning each one of these down, you can just simply turn this down and it will reduce overall the amount of reverb or effect or whatever you might be doing. That is pretty much it. That is the different setups for using a effects return for an external effects processor like this. So guys, thanks for watching this video. Now, like I mentioned in the beginning, I'm going to have another video where I'm going to show you guys how to connect the effects unit without an aux. Check the description box down below for the link to that video, as well as a whole bunch of other videos that I have where I show you guys how to connect certain pieces of analog equipment to a mixer or even to an interface. So if you guys check out these other videos and you find that I don't actually have a video that you're looking for, drop a comment down below for some other video suggestions and I'll make sure to get those done. All right guys, so thank you very much. Please, if you liked the video, click the like button, subscribe, you know the deal. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video.